Hi, everybody. Another update. This isn't about the work I'm doing directly, not the project I'm working on, but just a little tidbit about the tools that I use, which are pretty minimal, I'll tell you. I will do a screen share here and a brief discussion. Needles and thread. This is a magnet. It's kind of similar to those refrigerator magnets on those now obsolete yellow pages where you would get the business card or two attached to the now obsolete yellow pages that we don't even get anymore. This, I think, came in a sewing kit back, so it's a little thicker, but it's very handy for holding needles. I usually, you can see how many needles I've got up there. This is something from an amplifier that I love collage, and it's metal. I found it somewhere. I just like it, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But what I do, the reason I have so many needles on this is because I like to string up a whole bunch of needles at a time. If I know I'm going to do a large piece, such as the one I described in the previous video, I know I'm going to need, several needles to do just this part right here, six or so. So I will at least do at least six or eight, as long as I know what I'm doing, know how many I need. That way you don't lose momentum when you work. Stop, when you run out of thread, you stop, you run the thread back through and you secure the old thread and you put in a new thread. If you have a needle already strung with thread, then you don't have this, oh God, I need to thread another needle again thing. So it's always, I like it. I like doing it that way. The other thing is, of course, scissors. And luckily for me, this and other beaters, you can take uh, scissors on an airplane as long as they're 2 inches or less. These are well under 2 inches. This is what beeswax looks like when you've been using it for 10 years. These are needle nose pliers. Sometimes I need to coax that thread through a really recalcitrant bead, and that's what I'll use to do it with. But I know that if I have to use this, there's a danger I might burst the bead out from inside. So I try to use it as little as possible, or I try to not overstuff my beads. This is just something that's kind of fun. It's an old ashtray. I don't smoke anything, but so I don't need ashtrays except as thread catchers. I put my little pieces of thread when I finish this thread, I'm going to have a little piece of thread that I cut off that's probably going to be about that long, and it goes in here. This is so old that they had just introduced 7-digit all number phone numbers back in the day for you youngins. And this is before my time, because I remember the first time I had to remember my phone number, it was all numbers. But in my husband's time, he's older than me. He remembers his phone number having a name. It'd be like Brookline 62500 or whatever. In other words, back on the dial phone, ABC, let's see, yeah, ABC is one, uh, BEF, excuse me, DEF is two, etc., um, down to XYZ. So they would make up a name that corresponded with the phone numbers, basically a name that had whatever one of the three letters associated with the number eight on the dial phone, the one you have to, do that with. You have to like put your finger in the number two and then and rotate it, make it go all the way around to the little hooky thing on the bottom. I mean, I've used those. I grew up using them. But basically, whatever corresponds to the number eight, let's say it's an S, and then the number four, uh, a let's see. Well, what would correspond to the number four? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Okay. So let's just say it's that's an S. I'm not going to bore you with going through all the numbers there. And that's supposed to be JKL. Well, let's just say Slinky 62500 is the no is the quote number back in the day. And then when they at some point they decided that an all number system was better. So instead of Slinky 62500, it was 846 2500. Just so you know, just for the youngins there. So yeah, the bit about the 200 watts, I don't know where I got it. It probably from an amplifier that I have. And 200 watts is a lot for an amplifier. It makes a lot of noise. So this is kind of a reminder to me that if you're going to go to all this trouble to make this kind of artwork, why not make it a lot of noise with it? So on that happy note, I hope you're making a lot of noise wherever you are, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for being with me. Bye.